Welcome to Vision Plus, a program featuring a positive outlook, dealing with everyday situations of marriage, children, and business. Believing Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Teacher, author, speaker, delighting audiences from New York to Sacramento with a heart and message for the people today. Bonnie would like to remind you of the 800 number on the screen. Please feel free to call at any time throughout the broadcast and share your concerns. Leave your prayer request and someone will pray with you. And now, teacher, author, and speaker, Bonnie.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Vision Plus. As you know from the past, without a vision, the people perish. I had a bucket list, which is one of my new books, and you can also get it from my blogs, but it was about setting our, you know what the bucket list is. For me, was going to Alaska and speaking to the ladies there, get this Mission Impossible book, Simple Things book, and by the way, this book through Insight Publishing is going to be what you're going to hear about today, and that's The Art of Leadership, Leadership Helping Others to Succeed, that Captain Ronald Woods has put together, or rather, he's written the information, and the Mission Impossible people will have it called Leadership Helping Others to Succeed. And then, as you know, we have the Emily book about my Russian interpreter that went to the former Soviet Union, Emily with a Russian heart, and now there are 10,000 youths have come to the Lord as a result of her and Brother Andrew and the work that was done in Russia. She would take people. This is about a lot of the people that are country and western singers, and my friend Bernice Turner, she and I both were born and raised in Arkansas, dirt, scrabble, poor farms in Arkansas, and she was the only woman ever hired by Hank Williams. And so this, you can get this book if you'd like. Amazon had it for $34.95. You can get it from us for $10, whatever. And Build a Better You, starting now, a National Speakers Association book. And the Born Again Marriage book, which you can now download on your anything that you have, the iPad, the Nook or whatever. And it's about how the Lord put our marriage back together. It is now in several versions called Just Flow, how your marriage, your relationships have to just flow. 85% of most of the things that we have in relationship to another person we like. It's the other 15% that drive us up the wall. But if you would only remember that, and there's some more books there. There's another one about the relationship, how videotape and all the internet and games affect the relationship between parent and child, or child and any other relationship. They just now stay in their room. This Simple Things is about life. So I like to write, and apparently my friend from church lives in El Paso, Texas. I was over there. It only takes you a day to drive from Dallas to El Paso. Well, anyway, this is called Leadership Helping Others to Succeed. So I want you to call the toll-free number and pre-order this book. Now we got to learn more about it. He is married, has a beautiful wife and two children.
Yep.
Yeah. What are their ages now and their names? Ronald Wood.
20-year-old Ryan Woods at New Mexico State University in Systems Engineering, and 17-and-a-half-year-old daughter, Rebecca.
Going on 25.
Yeah, 35.
There
So, yeah, and she's a junior at Coronado High School, just doing great. And
I know you're so proud of them. And your wife.
Been married for going on 26 years
Oh,
to my best
goodness.
friend.
That is good. Well, you just gone through their silver anniversary.
We have.
I've gone through my golden anniversary. So,
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
Wow.
he put up with me.
Congratulations to
Yeah.
you, honey. Well
hey,
done.
you know what? He put up with me that many years. Can you imagine anybody putting up with somebody that many
think
years?
It might be the other way around.
Yeah, but I
It is
like
in my
him
life.
more now than I used to. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
I like him
again.
more now than I used to. If you stay with somebody so long, you start hey, he's not so bad after all.
Love
Now,
grows. It does.
what I want you to remember, I almost left that over there. Ron Woods, Captain Woods, is one that has spoken in our church and had a lot of things all over the world, literally. He was worked with the Department of Defense, Thomason Hospital, West Sands Missile Range, New York Life, YWCA, U.S. Border Patrol, so many things that I won't take up our time by reading the rest of them, but you can find all about it. He can come to your place and do a seminar for you about leadership, and I'd like for you to do that. Hey, can we give them your number? Would you allow that?
Yeah, we sure can.
Okay, so how they could go ahead and get in touch with Woods Consulting?
Yeah, that's the 256-724-2444.
And that-
256-724-2444.
I like that.
Yeah,
We
it
will
rolls
remember
off the tongue
that.
pretty well.
And you're going to help us to remember all of these disciplines that
disciplines of
we can.
leadership, exactly. There's four.
Just before we start that, how do you get along with being away from your wife? How many weeks are you sometimes gone?
Sometimes gone 3 out of 4 weeks. Mm-hmm.
And
it's
she
important.
still likes you when you
Oh,
get home.
I
You're
just-
not Uncle Daddy.
Yeah, and I still love her more than ever.
You're just honeymooning that extra week.
Absolutely,
That's what it is.
absolutely,
And your
exactly.
children are perfect for 1 week. We don't know what they're doing the other 3, but they're perfect that week. No,
It's all
I know.
about staying connected. And
That's
I
right.
think that's a very good question, Bonnie. I call home every night, talk
Mm-hmm.
with my wife, Stacy, call her during the day. It's important that she knows that I'm thinking about her when I'm gone. I was a naval aviator. I flew off aircraft carriers for years and years. I've 28 years in the Navy. So we were gone for just months at a time. So nowadays you can Skype and text and email, and I think that's critical to maintaining pathos in a relationship. That's the word from Aristotle we talked about
Yeah.
last week about being connected, strong, connected relationships.
Tony was in the Marine Corps, and I think of the guys over in Afghanistan and all the places.
I
and
honor
they're
those men and women
gone
and their
so
families.
long many times. And my friend that was on recently, Mike Dutchmendy, he flew off of a naval ship.
Wow.
And so I didn't realize that you two had that in common. He's a sweetheart too, like you are. Okay, tell us about the 4 disciplines. Let's start there and recap
Okay.
that.
All right. Like we talked about before, there's 4 domains of leadership.
Okay.
There's 4 decisions that you have to make.
What are
There-
those decisions?
Those decisions happen to fall right into character, right? There's 4 domains. Let's do a quick review. Every person leads someone, right? 4 domains. EPLS. Every person leads someone. Ethos, pathos, logos, sophos. And it's very easy to remember. And the 4 domains come from, not me. I'm nowhere near that smart. They all come from Aristotle.
Okay.
The 4th century BC. And of course, he learned them from the real master and teacher, Jesus Christ, and his writings as we read them in the book with 66 letters in it. That book on my coffee table, you see a lot of reading in there. And exactly, Bonnie, you've got one there that's pretty worn out.
Yeah, it is.
which
I buy
awesome.
I buy a new one every 7 years, but I keep going back to this one because I know my notes where my
How does
notes
it
are.
go? The Bible that's worn out is owned by someone that isn't, right?
Oh, I hadn't heard that. I like that.
That's really
Okay,
good.
let's go.
So
4
4 domains.
domains.
And then there are 4 questions that everybody asks you in those 4 domains. Remember,
Even if they
ethos?
don't say it out loud.
I'm so
and they
glad you
usually
brought that up.
don't say it out
The
loud.
4 questions that very
What
wise,
are those 4 questions?
They're almost never asked
Out
with
loud.
words.
No.
Never. They're intuitively discerned. First question, can I trust you? That's about your character, your ethos. Second question, do you care about me? That's connection. That is your pathos. Third question, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're talking about? That's your logos, your competence. And the 4th question is, can you learn and can you help me out of the mess I'm in right now in my life? Can you help make me better? Can you help me grow and learn? And can you grow and learn? That's the domain of sophos, growing and iterative learning. So there's your 4 domains. There's your 4 questions everyone asks. And then by way of review, that echoes back to 4 disciplines you must possess to be what I call a 100% leader. And that is, you got to have the domain of character, which is self-discipline, self-leadership. First discipline, self-leadership. You got to lead yourself in your attitude, having a good one when everyone around you doesn't. Like Moses leading the children of Israel out of 400 years of slavery and bondage in Egypt. And they're going across the desert, and what do those million people do the whole way? Remember the story?
Complain,
Gripe,
complain.
gripe, whine, whine, complain, complain. They're like a bunch of ducks in a duck pond. Whack, 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 whack. Gripe and whine and complain. All to each other.
I like
Whack, whack,
what
whack.
his father-in-law, and in this case it'd be your father,
Right.
Said, now wait a minute, Ron, you can't do this all by yourself. You got to have some help. Moses.
Exactly. It
get
was
you
Jethro, his father-in-law, right?
That's right.
You're right.
Get 70 other people, and that's what you do.
Absolutely.
You
You've
teach
gotta-
these people how to be leaders.
You have to delegate.
I asked you
and
about
mentor
that.
And train the others.
Could they take your book? I may not have asked, but I'm asking you now. Could they take your book, Leadership, Helping Others to Succeed, and use this after you leave?
Absolutely.
To maybe train some new people to come into the organization.
Absolutely. It's what it's for. It's for being used.
You don't have on there,
above.
don't
Oh,
anybody
no,
use
my
this
goodness.
or I'll whoop them.
Well, nothing is mine. I mean, what do we own? I learned it from the great teacher, Jesus. I learned it from our Greek ancestors, Socrates, all the way through Plato. To Aristotle, to Alexander the Great, to the Roman Empire, to the spread of Christianity. Who owns anything? Solomon said it best, right? There's nothing new
Under the sun.
Exactly. So please get it. Please use it. Use it any way you want to. Make a difference in your life and your family.
Now, how did your dad influence you in these?
Well, my dad, as you remember from previous shows, my dad was a UDT, underwater demolition expert. That was established back in 1943, right around World War II, for the need for guys to do covert operations and checking out strongholds on the beaches of Europe. And in 1962, John F. Kennedy established the Navy SEALs. So my dad came along in like 50, 51, 52. So my father doesn't wear a trident, doesn't have any awards, doesn't have any recognition, doesn't have any of the accoutrements that I wear on my military uniform, because for him, it wasn't about winning awards. It was about protecting this great country that we live in. It was about doing the right thing for the right reason. And it wasn't about me. It's about we taking care of us to serve them. That's my leadership model. Me, we, us, them. It's all about them. It's about the lost. It's about the people we serve. It's about the people that you accidentally run into that God brings in your life. That's who you are to serve. That's why God put you there.
I know why Stacy married you to look like that. Tony was in the Marine Corps when I married him. It's that uniform. I tell you what, I don't know who.
I have found that it doesn't matter what you look like. You put a uniform on and you look better. So that's why I got married in that uniform.
Yeah,
I really
Tony
did.
got married in his,
It worked.
too.
Then I
Yeah.
had to retire it. So.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so what in this leadership, what are some of the things you observe that's not happening in our country today? The lack of some leadership in our government.
Let's talk about one that I've been reading about a lot lately. One of the major derailers of leaders, that invalidates your leadership, that sinks your ship, to use a Navy metaphor, is this: arrogance and ego out of control. I have seen this destroy more leaders than almost anything else. When you have an arrogant, egotistical leader, they don't take up verbal cues from their team. They don't look around to see what people are reacting. They have no pathos, no connection, and their arrogance is destroying their character, their ethos, and all they have is their logos. And oftentimes an arrogant, egotistical, out of control leader has great skills. That's why they're arrogant. It's their logos, and they're a 25% leader, and they're really good at it, but they're only 25%.
That could be an incredible speaker and
Or
draw-
leader or
yeah,
president of the United States.
and draw people through them because of their oratory.
Let me give you some
oratory.
real specific examples.
Okay.
Let's talk about Bernie Ebbers, WorldCom. Let's talk about Tyco, Dennis Kozlowski. Let's talk about Enron, Kenneth Lay and Jeff Skilling. Let's talk about Martha Stewart and her empire. These men and women have ego out of control. Now, I'm not saying ego's bad. A leader has to have ego because people are going to come along when you're a leader and they're going to shoot you. They're going to hit you over the head with a brick because that's what happens to leaders. That's okay. It's when it gets out of control and you become arrogant. And then people look at you and say, I can't be on your team because you don't need a team. You don't need us. And you know what happens, Bonnie? You see good people start to leave companies,
Oh, yes.
organizations. And when
Yes.
the good people leave and you're looking around going, where's everybody going? You know,
Wait for me, I'm your
Exactly.
leader.
Yeah, wait for me, I'm their leader. You know, we got a real problem here. So leaders are wise to keep their ego in check, their character. They're wise to build good connected relationships, their pathos, to know what they're doing, their logos, and to learn from their mistakes, their sophos.
How do they learn from the mistakes? I was thinking about Hitler and just Bernie Madoff and all of it,
absolutely.
and OJ and all the people that have apparently didn't get it.
You bet.
I know one of the things my grandson says, you better get it, Better
Exactly.
get it.
And the reason they don't get it is because what they have always done has gotten them where they are. That's why they rose to power. That's why Bernie Madoff was able to build a $50 billion Ponzi scheme, because of his competence and his core competencies and his logos and his skill set. It's quite good. Now the problem is he didn't have the character to say, that's not right, let's stop doing it. So you know how a leader learns from their past? Do you know how a leader learns their sophos? They stop what they're doing and they reflect. They reflect back. Well, how'd that last reaction go? How'd that last meeting go? How'd that last team interaction go? How'd that last
How's
event-
that working out
How's
for
that
you?
working for you? Back to Dr. Phil again, Bonnie. And once they do that, then they learn the lessons from that reflection, and they can reframe it in a way that they can leverage their skills and move forward to the future.
And one of the things
persist
that
and not give up.
that you teach is how to look in that mirror, face yourself, and say, I need to change.
Absolutely.
That's when you really mature.
It's the great revelator. The silver thing on the bathroom wall.
That's right.
The mirror is
Whoa.
me. Yes, it is me.
That's right.
I've got to fix my life. I've got to fix what's broken. I've got to listen with a gentle, quiet spirit.
And that's why you're going to the men's retreat, because usually you're the speaker, and now you're going to be the listener. That's
can
why we have
hardly
two
wait.
ears and one mouth. That we need.
I can hardly wait to go to this retreat and to just learn.
Mm-hmm.
See, I've learned by failing at it. that
What have you
leaders
ever
are
failed
learners.
at? I can't believe I've had you in Sunday
Well,
school and
tell you.
church, and I don't believe you ever failed at anything.
I think that men specifically with the Y chromosome are driven by their accomplishments and what they've done and what they've succeeded at. Women are too, but I know men are just driven by this. And I've learned that we're all broken and we all make
Well,
mistakes.
tell me about a broken or mistake you ever made.
Here we go. I'm up doing
Much
a
is
talk.
given, much is required.
I'm doing a talk in the Navy Reserves on some ship somewhere, and I'm telling them all about how great I am, because just ask me and I'll tell you how great I am. Like, oh, go. And one of my mentors, and there's a lesson here, everybody needs a mentor. Everybody needs someone to speak into their life and give them what I call the red pill. Right, we learned that from the movie The Matrix, the red pill or the blue pill. When Morpheus is talking to Neo, I thought that scene was brilliant. You take the blue pill and people just lie to you and you believe whatever you want. You take the red pill and people tell you the truth. You know, the truth is sometimes hard to swallow. So I got the truth from Admiral Paul Arthur. And he's a mentor friend of mine from White Sands Missile Range. He and I are speaking out somewhere. And he takes me aside. He says, "Hey, Ron, I've watched your career and you've had some success. You've had 8 command tours. Pat yourself on the back. Oh, you're really good." And I'm like, "Uh-oh, what's coming?" He goes, "You have a chink in your armor." I'm like, "Oh boy, this is a red pill, blue pill moment. Do I want to just have him lie to me, tell me how great I am, or do I want to learn something and change?" And I said, "Sir," swallowing, "I'd like to know what I need to fix." He said, "Ron, your greatest weakness is you need to learn to be a better follower. You need to learn to follow." And I said, wait, I'm the leader." He goes, "That's my point. See, leaders model those behaviors for their team by the way the team sees them follow their boss." I never got that. I thought, I'm the leader, it's all about me. You know what? It's not about me at all. I'm the number one servant to serve my team. From the leadership model of Jesus Christ.
Servant
Can
leader.
we serve, not to be served? So I had to learn from Admiral Paul Arthur, and he's still a dear friend of mine. He's a dear friend of my father's, and I think he's about 80 years old now. And way back when I was a lieutenant commander 10, 15 years ago, he said, "Ron, you need to learn to be a better follower, and it'll make you a better leader." And I've been working on it for the last
So
decade.
how did you take that information and internalize it?
Well,
Extrapolate those principles and let
Well,
it
first of all, I
become part
didn't.
of you.
I didn't. I just ignored it. Isn't that the way we all handle stuff we don't want to hear? Nah, you're wrong, sir, but you have to be respectful. And I don't want anyone telling me something I'm doing is wrong. But then I looked into my life. You know, it's almost we're going to joke again, the Dr. Phil moment. How's that been working for you?
Well, you know what? I've got to
hasn't.
change my opening and closing because it's about me. And I got to change it. And I'm going to. Forgive me. Please forgive me, everybody. I'm going to get changed.
There is a time when,
But I didn't
when
know
a
it.
speaker like yourself builds ethos. That's part of your character. It's who you are. And there's an appropriate time to say that this is what I've done, this is what I've done, this is what I've done. That's appropriate. And then you transition from that to now that we know each other, how can I serve you?
Right.
And that's a lesson I learned by failing at it. I'm so
So how
bad
did you
at
get
that.
over when you didn't want to? You said to him, "Does this saber
Oh,
belong to you?" Remember?
Uncle. Well,
What did you do?
here's the lesson. This lesson took me 51 years to learn. If one person tells you you're a purple horse, you say, maybe. If 2 people tell you you're a purple horse, you go, I wonder. If 3 people tell you you're a purple horse, then guess what?
You're a purple.
You're a purple horse. Get it? So I had at least 3 or 4 people write, "The wise man or woman seeks a multitude of counsel." And the
That's right.
multitude of counsel, right from
Right
the good
from
book.
the good book.
The multitude of counsel tells you, Ronald, you need to be a better listener. You need to be a better follower. You need to be a better follower. You need to be a better follower. Well, guess what? Ronald needs to be a better follower.
So how did you make the transition to be a better listener
3
and a
steps.
better follower?
Reflection, reframing, and persistence. So I reflected on my life and said, what's working, what's not. I reframed the past in a way that is the most beneficial for me to learn from it and move forward and not do those behaviors again. And then I just decided not to give up. I'm going to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it because I have reflected, I have reframed, I've leveraged what I've learned, and we're moving forward.
And now you may get his book, Leadership, Helping Others to Succeed. The not we, me, we, us,
But
them.
them, exactly,
And
Bonnie.
so let's recap what we've said. so
Four
that
domains
people
of
can,
leadership.
yes, go ahead.
Ethos, pathos, logos, sophos. Every person leads someone. These are the 4
So
domains.
remember, tuck
That's
that
right.
in your brain.
Every person
You are
leads
leading
Ethos,
someone.
pathos, logos, sophos. Can I trust you? Do you care about me? Do you know what you're talking about? Can you help me out of the mess I'm in right now? That requires self-leadership. It requires strong, connected relationship. It requires knowing what you're doing, studying what you're doing, and it requires learning from your failure. There's your 4 disciplines, 4 questions, 4 domains.
And it seems that some of the people you referred to, that maybe President Lincoln, even though he went through a lot, but he apparently learned from it, because now they're saying he may be one of the great
He is
presidents.
one of the greatest, and President Clinton too. Learn from his
Who did I
mistakes.
say?
And,
Did I not say Clinton?
but it's okay. He learned that too.
Okay, what did I say?
President Lincoln learned too from his mistakes.
I'm thinking
It's okay.
Clinton, and I'm saying
Because
Lincoln.
we're all broken. We're all broken.
I have this
I pray that
athlete's
Bill
mouth
Clinton did
every
learn.
once in a while from keeping my foot in it.
You did great. We all knew what you meant.
I'm sure I'm glad, because it's not easy to, from me, come from the cotton patch to the career of speaking to people across the world.
You're great. Thank you.
Well,
Dr.
thank you
Lieber.
very
It's
much,
my
and
privilege.
say hello
Thank
to
you, ma'am.
Stacy and the children.
My privilege,
And
Bonnie.
I
I will.
love
Thank
that
you.
woman. She is so precious.
She's
And
my
I
dearest
miss
friend.
her so much. I know you had to go back to be with your dad in
It's
El Paso,
Family's
but
important.
they are. They really are. And I know that their families are important to everybody. I hear my phone. some family members
Just trying to get in touch with you.
So I better take that call soon. Well, I am Bonnie Libhart, along with Captain Ron Woods, the new author of the book. And tell some of the other people real quickly who else is working with you.
Well, I'm working with Dr. Warren Bennis and Representative Pat Schroeder and Senator of the United States of America. We're all writing a book on
Leadership.
what it means to be a leader and how
Helping
to help
others to
It's all
succeed.
about helping others, not about me or we, us. It's all about them. It's the model.
And I appreciate Thaddeus Brooks taking time out of his busy
He's a great man,
schedule.
took good care of
That's
us today.
right, he did. And he has his new company that he's actually, I said, TBP, what does that stand for? Thaddeus Brooks Productions.
I
So
like it.
he got it. And so we're glad that you joined us. And remember, if any of you want alkaline water, get in touch with us. If you want the book Leadership, Helping Others to Succeed, call that toll-free number, 877-823-6886. Love you. Glad you joined us.